Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Today is January 1st. For one, yes, I still have up my tree and everything that goes with the tree. I haven't been in the best health the last week, probably closer to 2 weeks. And so that's kind of why everything is still up. Usually I'm like, it's got to be down before the first of the year. But anyway, I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about my 2025 goals. I wish I was in better spirits, but I do want to get this video filmed. So the first thing that I want to do kind of revolves around what's going on with me, which is my health. The current issue that I'm having is something that I've been dealing with for more than 20 years. I have some sort of inner ear imbalance, which has caused a lot of problems over the years for me. And more so recently, within the last couple years, maybe last year, I would say, a little bit more than a year, has formed Meniere's disease for me. At least that's what I was told. Never was really told anything else after that. However, basically what happens is I know for certain that there's an imbalance in my ear, my right ear specifically, where I can't even really describe it, but the way that the doctors describe it is that there's a crystal loose pretty much in my ear. And whenever I make like sudden head movements, it causes pretty much dizziness, which brings on nausea, which brings on everything else that comes with that. And so I have not figured out over the last 20 plus years what actually triggers it. It kind of comes and goes as it pleases. But the last time that I had like a major, I call them flare-ups just because lack of a better term, was October of last year. And this one started in December, probably the actually the Thursday before Christmas. And so it just depends on the time of the day, really, because every day I've had some sort of symptom related to this. It just wreaks havoc. It just comes and goes as it pleases. The part that bothers me the most is obviously the dizziness and the nausea, because the ringing in my ears, although it's intensified, I've kind of gotten used to it. Even though I don't want to be used to it, I don't really think there's anything that I can do about that. But obviously the dizziness, I just feel off kilter most of the time, and obviously nausea and everything that comes along with that. So that's one of the priorities. I actually went to the doctor last week on Friday. I keep thinking today is Sunday, you guys. I'm sorry. It's really only Wednesday. But I went to the doctor's last Friday so that I can get my referral to go and see an ENT. Hopefully they don't put me through all of the testing that they had me doing in October of 2023, because that was brutal. But if I have to do it again and more, I will, if it's going to bring on some sort of resolve, you know, because I can't keep going through this. I don't want to say it's bothering me. It's bothering me, and I need answers, and I need to know what my next steps are. I know there probably isn't a cure, but I definitely need to know how to cope with this better once I do have a flare up. Second, on the health and fitness journey, 2025 journey, I really hesitated in saying that. I want to continue working on my A1C. I would say over the last now maybe 4 years, I was always in a pre-diabetic range. And then last year in July is when S hit the fan. I went and got my labs done, and my doctor was like, Chanda, either you're going to have to make some serious lifestyle changes or you're going to take medication. And for anyone who knows me, knows that I am not a medication person. And that's normally because I usually have every side effect that you can have when it comes to medication. Whatever you're reading or whatever it's been advertised as and it has the side effects listed, I'm going through each one of those symptoms or each one of those side effects, or I'm having them. And so I try my best to not even do any kind of Western medication. Tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. And so I cut out all sugar. I have not had real sugar since July of last year. I've had pasta, mainly whole grain bread, anything that could potentially have white flour in it. I try to stay away from. I've had a couple slip ups, especially if I'm going out and there's no other option for me, you know. But for the most part, I would say I've been 99% on par with this. The good thing is that my husband, I convinced him to go and get blood work done. It's so hard to get a man into the damn doctor, I'm telling you. I convinced him to go and get his blood work done and check out all of his levels, and he was going through the same thing I was. And so you only got to tell me something like that once when it comes to me having to take alternate measures to fix something, I guess, because medicine would have been that alternate measure. And I'm doing it. There's nothing else to it. Is I'm quitting the thing that I'm doing at that very moment that's causing the issue. I don't have to question it. It's just it has to be done. And I'm like that with most things. So cut out sugar immediately. At that point that I got those results in that phone call, cut out the sugar, cut out the white flour. We don't eat a lot of processed anything. When we do go out, we try to eat as clean as possible. I definitely miss cake. I have not had a cupcake. I don't even know when the last time before I was given my results that I had a cupcake. So whenever that part was, it was first half of 2024. That was great, but that's my weakness is cupcakes, and I haven't had one. And I'm proud of myself, but I really want one. When I had my blood work done in October, since I'm in pre-diabetic range, the numbers are reversible. I don't want to know if they are reversible once you've hit diabetic range. I don't want to get there. But I did manage to get my numbers down, and right now I'm still pre-diabetic range. But if I can get them to go down 0.3 points, then I'll be out of that range. And I'm not going to wild out after that happens, because it will happen. I am going to work hard. I'm going to continue to work hard to make sure that I stay out of that range. And just because I'm out of it, once I do hit it, doesn't mean that I'm going to wild out and go back to what I was doing before. At this point, it's a lifestyle. I've been going at it for 6 months at this point. 5 or 6 months. And so there's no turning back, you know. I'll probably cheat a little more, maybe have a pink drink, maybe once every few months, because that's my drink of choice, pink drink from Starbucks. Haven't had one in a very long time. That is another thing, another goal that we're going to continue to work on in 2025. Another thing that I want to do as far as my fitness journey is I want to start, we have a gym membership. Even though our apartment complex has a gym, and then my job actually has a very nice workout facility. Once it's time to clock out, I don't want to stay at work. It sounds bad, but I'm being for real. Once I've punched, I probably wouldn't utilize our fitness center at my job. We do have a LA Fitness membership. We used to have Planet Fitness, but then we switched over to LA. And so I want to start obviously utilizing that, but I also want to do Soul Cycle, which is another thing. I feel like Chelsea Janae, or I am Chelsea Janae, or Chelsea, I found a few gems coming from her channel. Because I was thinking of Cycle Bar. I had heard of Cycle Bar way before I started watching her. So that was one of the things that I did want to maybe try. But then when she said Soul Cycle, put music with it, I'm there. I love music. And if it's the right music, it gets you pumping. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that you're listening to classical jams while you pumping iron. You're not doing that. So Soul Cycle, I've looked into it already. The nearest one to me is not very close. I got to be strategic with my plan, because there's no getting to them during the week, because I work during the week. And like I said, every other weekend, right, starting this weekend, will be gone. So I got to strategically plan out when I'm going to do those, but I'm going to do it. And I'm gonna enjoy it. At least I hope I do, because I like biking, with a physical bike. I love to bike. We'll see with the Soul Cycle ends up looking like for me. To round out my health and fitness journey is I am going to work on developing an attainable workout regimen. And I say all of this because I have a lot of factors that are in place for me to develop the strict one that I want to be on. One, time. I know it's easier said than done to say you'll make time. Even when I make time, there's not enough of it. That's one thing. Two, this is my daughter's senior year. Plus, she plays 3 different sports. And right now, she's in basketball for school and then travel volleyball. And so, starting up this weekend, we're in another state every other weekend. So, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by setting an attainable workout regimen for myself. I want to at least work out 4 times a week. I'm going to have to figure out workouts that's going to work with me and my whole ear situation, because right now I can't make those sudden movements. As much as I want to, I can't, unless I want to have a cleanup on aisle 5. That is the plan with that. And then obviously with the workout regimen, I want to create a consistent meal plan while I've adjusted to all of the changes that we've had to do in our diet over the past 5, I would say more so 5 months. I want to always know what it is that I want, that I have to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't do that right now. Most of the time I don't even eat breakfast, which causes a bunch of other issues. So that is the plan. Make this all habitual. Okay, so that is it when it comes to my health and fitness. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into my financial wellness. Your girl has been wilding out. So we moved into this place a little bit over 2 years ago now, almost 2.5 years actually. Before all of that, I'm not talking about my husband's savings, I'm talking about mine. I like to have my own, even though we're married. You know, we have ours, but I like to have my own too, right? I was doing very well at savings. I was doing money challenges. I was doing like paycheck stuffing with like envelopes, like physical cash. And it was working. I was doing so well with like saving money for different things that I needed to. But then I think I got overzealous. I got overzealous with the amount of things because once you start saving money and you start seeing that you can actually save money, then now, I want to save for that, and that too, which isn't a problem. The problem for me came into I put myself in debt because I was building my credit at that point and I was signing up for credit cards. And while I'm not like in any like delinquent statuses or anything, or like over the limit balances or anything like that, I never really wanted to owe anybody other than this damn car company or my finance company for my car. That's it. Right now we don't own a home, obviously. We live in an apartment. I just never really wanted to have a creditor or like a debt to anyone, and I prided myself for so long in not having that. So 2025, I'm going to write out my list. I did this at the beginning of 2024 and got sidetracked somehow, and I don't remember what threw me off, but I got thrown off. But I'm going to try my best to stick to it. The first 4 months of the year will probably be a little bit tougher to do only because we will be traveling every other weekend for volleyball. And if you know anything about any kind of travel sport, obviously, we only have one more payment to make for her to actually be in the club that she's in. We've been paying $600 a month for that. So one more payment for that. And then, that doesn't include lodging, food, travel, anything. So you got to pay for your accommodations. You got to pay for your food. You have to pay to get there if you're not driving. It's just a bunch of things. So while I do plan on starting and setting the groundwork, the first 4 or 5 months of the year will be a little bit harder to save as much as I would like to. Let's say that. I do want to get back to my challenges. I bought a couple boxes off of Amazon. One I have not put together yet. It's just a box where you can do different kinds of savings challenges. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I also have one of the ones that you can't access, because that one you can. And if I needed to dip into it for in an emergent situation, then there we go. This one you can't. This is the only way in this. And so once I feel like I've put enough in there, or, whatever the case is, then I'll pry it open. I've seen these before, but I got very inspired by I Am Chelsea Janae here on YouTube, and I saw her break open her box. Now, I probably will never be able to save as much as she did in a year. She saved over $22,000 in 2024, and then took a trip for her birthday to Paris and used that money as her spending money. I'm like, go on, girl, do the damn thing, because if I could do that, I would, but I'm not set up that way. So I'm going to stuff it for as long as I feel. I'm not going to put a time limit on it, but I am going to just keep throwing. I can't even say extra money, because who has extra money? No one has extra money. All money is accounted for, even if it's just in savings. It's all accounted for. But if I have money on me, then I'm putting it in there, or I will use my little box, the other box, to do a challenge. And then I am going to start back stuffing my envelopes too. So that's for one part of my financial literacy. I can't even say financial literacy. I'm very literate with my finances. I just need to be better. And then the next part is I want to start investing. I've never really been like super interested in investing until probably within the last couple of months. And I have a 401k. I contribute to that every week. But that's about it. That's not an investment, even though that money is going into an investment fund set up for my retirement. I want to do other things too. So I am going to actually start doing research as to which investments are the ones that I should be investing in, not just because it's a hot for the moment type thing. I want something that's going to continually grow me money for years to come. So yeah, I'll be definitely looking more into that. I'm pretty excited about that. Another thing that I plan on doing in 2025 for myself, I plan on doing more meditating. Over the past few years, I've been tapping more into the things that calms my mind, because if I allow it, my mind would overtake me. I would constantly think about this thing and this thing and that thing, and this is what I should be doing, but I don't. And then it just gets overwhelming to the point where I don't do anything. And then I'm sulking, because I haven't done anything. Meditation for me comes in the form of guided meditation. I really enjoy guided meditation and listening to meditative music. I've even gotten into I don't know what it's called, when they're like, I don't want to say rimming, but they're like going across oh my God, sound bath therapy. I got to do that sparingly because that bothers my ear. We just don't want those problems. But I do enjoy sound bath therapy, but guided meditation, I absolutely enjoy. So I definitely want to do that more. And I also want to get in touch with what spirituality works for me. I'm not a super religious person. However, I do believe in God, and I do believe in a higher being and a higher power. I do. I don't need to go to church. And this is me. Don't stone me. If you go to church and you're a church lover, then by all means, do what works for you. But for me, I feel like I don't need to go to church to find the spirituality that works for me. So we're going to go along that journey together. A couple other things that I have here is just to read a couple books a month. I really like reading. I just got to find the time. And to also get my skincare in check, because what? We'll talk about that later. I'll make sure to document how all of this turns out for me and tell me what are your 2025 goals. Put them in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Stay blessed.